Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. The VCT playoffs in challenges is really kicking off right now with Moguls actually getting the job done. Can you believe it? Just one series away they are from getting all the way through to the Ascension playoffs in the Americas region. This is a remarkable story from a team that was very much in the dust at times and just a standard run-of-the-mill challengers team to now being where they are today. What a performance from this last night to take down the guards. We're going to dive into all the details today. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. Just first of all here from Sick, we saw this tweet yesterday. I thought it was nice actually, the response that Simple gave. Let's go man, you got this. The main thing is to remember that if you don't want it by yourself, then no one else can help. So I thought good advice here from Simple. Waiting for you in CS2 actually. Yes indeed, legend, thank you for the advice. So nice wholesome stuff to see. Hopefully that continues in that same vein. What's the future of Sick? Who knows? Will he stay in VALORANT? Will he go back to CS2? Because some players, the likes of Nitro and others, have said, you know what? I mean, he went back to CSGO Nitro, right? And that didn't really work out too well for him over the past few weeks. But, well, he, made the major, did okay at the major, made the playoffs. But they fell short quite swiftly when they got to those playoffs. And now Nitro has taken a step back. But even Hiko mentioned, right, just the other day, his intention to not leave VALORANT and quit VALORANT, but definitely go back to CS2 when it launched. I'm not exactly sure when it does. I think the rumor was like end of July, or end of June, sorry, which we're actually in June now. So I guess we'll have to see what happens there over the coming weeks. This I thought was pretty funny here from Matthew Elmore over from the Cloud9 side, predicting the groups come Masters Tokyo in a few weeks' time. And he has Evil Geniuses making a pretty crazy run, actually. But speaking of the teams that are there, I thought this was kind of interesting, looking at Will Minder's rankings for the clout these teams have. Now, it is kind of remarkable to me some of the differences between the players in various regions, because the most followed player at Masters Tokyo is going to be Boaster with 330 or 323-ish thousand followers. The most followed on Sentinels, I'm guessing, is TenZ, and he has significantly over 1 million. He has 1 million more followers, I believe, than Boaster. Something in that ballpark. So just goes to show, like, NA VALORANT is so built different. But anyway, these are your top followed players. You've got Boaster at 330, Aspas at 293. So this is basically the clout performance indicator rankings. Then Som, actually, the most followed on NRG. Finesse not too far behind. Nat, Sadak, Durka is pretty high up here. And then, of course, you get to the Asia region with something that's kind of a lot from what I was expecting. And then Ethan Zir, Forsaken, etc., etc. Lots of these guys probably deserve more followers than they have, but nonetheless, that is your kind of clout performance indicator rankings. Also, just wanted to mention quickly, this is what the bookies have to say on who are the favourites right now. These are the 12 teams that are there. 4 of them, of course, get straight through to the playoffs automatically. And I think it is kind of interesting that there's one team that's in the playoffs already guaranteed that has less of a chance apparently than a team that's in the group stages. So Fnatic are clearly the favourites, saying that this is going to happen pretty much half the time that Fnatic win the event. And is that true? Will Fnatic, if you run this event 1,000 simulations, will Fnatic win half of the time? Maybe so, to be fair, but still, they are the clear favourites. Then Loud just behind them. Then PaperX. PaperX have been killing it, right? It's got to be said, in the Pacific side. Are they going to be good enough? Is their style, again, going to match up well enough against the likes of Fnatic? Who knows? But they've got something in their roster now. They're looking good. So it's Fnatic, Loud, PaperX, then DRX apparently. So again, kind of interesting, right? The DRX are actually, in the group stages. They do have a very achievable group though, but it's possible they go out in the groups. But 8-1 or 7-1 technically, with 8 return for DRX if they were to win the entire thing. Then Liquid, then NRG, and then it goes down further from there. It's quite clear who the top 7 teams are, with Liquid looking very good. I mean, they beat Fnatic recently, right? It's got to be said, and they're still way down in terms of theoretical chances here. NRG, Na'Vi, and then it goes to the teams with apparently very little chance. EG do find themselves in a tough pool. They're 50-1 to win the event. Foot Esports even worse. Edward actually pretty similar to EG, which is kind of strange in a way. Then T1, and then Attacking Zol at 500-1. So anyway, those are your odds going into Masters. I think probably about fair enough, a lot of these, to be honest. As we dive into the Challengers playoffs, then I wanted to mention this was remarkable. So one player and team that have qualified for the grand finals of the Indonesian VALORANT Challengers League is this team Dominators, and they have a player here on the other side, Ray4C, who's kind of known as a bit of a demon in the ranked ladders over there, who apparently is a shotgun-only player. He occasionally doesn't use a shotgun, but the majority of the time he does. So of his 38 kills in this series, a series they won kind of a little bit convincingly 2-0, he had 32 shotgun kills. Now, this is apparently what they do. So he's going to be playing on 4th of June for an Ascension slot, which is just absolutely remarkable. But yeah, this is apparently going to be happening. So if they win this next series of Ray4C, this shotgun demon, they are in with a chance of qualifying for Ascension and becoming a player. So it does make you wonder if this is actually a viable option. Now, it takes some skill to do this, right? Don't get me wrong. If you're a shotgun-only player, it takes some skill to make that happen. And he's on the Rays, of course, which makes the most sense for this particular combo. But it does make you think, like, is Valorant actually the most balanced game if the shotguns are this powerful? But, you know, that's a debate that could be had. Let's discuss the challenges then in the North American side. So M80 versus Oxygen Esports last night. This was pretty interesting game 1, but game 2 again. I think M80 have done this twice in a row now, and they're really looking good at the right time. It was 13-9 game 1, pretty back and forth. The first half was split, tied 6-6. M80 then kicked up on their attack, eventually won the game 13-9, and then Pearl 13-2. I mean, it's a very popular map in the Americas, especially in North America, and this was not even close, right? I mean, the changes that we've seen, M80 still just bowled them over, and it's the second series, I believe, in a row they've done this now, where map 2, they just completely obliterate the other team. We'll just have a look real quick against Shopify Rebellion, right? It was Pearl 13-2, so they played it twice in a row, and they're 13-2 to T1 Pearl. So probably if you're Moist Moguls, let's maybe not play that against M80 when they happen to play their series, which is coming up soon, and I still can't believe this is really happening, but here we go. So as Ludwig says, Moist Moguls, this was a team that was acquired, right? There was, when the whole disguise thing was going down, they decided, Ludwig and Charlie, to get involved as well, and it really has paid off for them, right? It's crazy that they obviously chose a good team, they've made it work, they've given those guys confidence, and it does give me some faith that Disguise, Toast and Boys can make it work in the future. Hopefully it does. I'm not sure it will. But just wanted to share some of the highlights here of this series.
Slide favorite.
Oh shit, I didn't finish
based on
this.
results and pedigree and things of that nature. Moist Moguls has, again, been that dog that's been growing and growing each and every week, and now they just got a big win on Haven and an opportunity to perhaps pull one over here, as now they're on their bye, gets the bonus with the guard.
I got a fast play towards B.
Couple of tags coming out. The guard
Maybe just control.
fighting off Brock, doesn't touch. Offensive smoke start.
Oh, getting frisky fire.
Orbital strike also being.
This wall.
What is this? Wait,
what?
Wait, what? Triple kill made?
And just destroy through lamps.
Ah, never mind. Yeah, but it's exposed.
Swing us,
Okay,
swing
we
us,
got the
swing us.
up down.
Roto.
No, don't
What?
swing us. Don't swing us. Holy.
No way. Not like this.
What?
Trent gets the shots. The flash.
Please,
is
Thief.
in. Thief for the 1v3. Joan attacks. It's just the shorty. He gets the first. Can he get
Oh,
the
he got the volley off.
Self mollies down on top of it. Jonas
Wait, I don't know if that-
Health. He can't just step on it immediately.
No
We got
way.
it. We won.
He's gonna
We
have
won.
to-
Oh my god. That's so
Thief
close.
gets the kill.
Holy shit.
And Moist Moguls.
All right, one more.
Oh
Oh my god.
Still in the
Honestly,
same position to contest.
wow, this
Nice.
big ball up. They took the
Sets
roll.
himself up for the kill. Plant cannot come
Got
through, but not
Brimals.
immediately. Orbital strike gonna get called in. That's all
Okay,
right.
that
Over
would
towards left
guarantee
side.
you control.
Go to P. He's been
Oh,
a
they scared him off the
playmaker for
bomb.
squad. He's
Soprano,
trying to deal with the
get it down, get it down, get it
Is
down.
this the moment? Spike's still not planted yet.
Oh my
It
God,
will
the
come down.
flash.
Oh, he got it, he got
Shot
it.
doesn't stop it in
They
time.
get it. 1v2.
Down to Brock.
1v2, please,
Both
Brock,
players gonna swing
please.
this, likely together.
Oh, there it is.
So a 2-0, an incredibly close 2-0. This could have gone either way, absolutely, but the guards go down. I believe they were intending actually to do a boot camp. I'm not sure that's happening any longer, the guards, but clearly their run here is not taking the toll that they wanted. I mean, I've mentioned it for the last few days that I felt like M80 were my clear favourites here, and I thought the Moist Moguls could put up a fight in this series, and they did more than a fight. I mean, that clutch that Thief had with the molly there, getting the 2 kills, and then chucking the Molotov down to stop the defuse, that was really well done. And yes, Josh Lee says here from the guards, who I believe was actually in the team briefly, was he not? Do they not have to put him in for one of the series that I think they won, did they not? So yeah, maybe they're just better with a coach in their roster. But anyway, I mean, as he says, it's probably the Ludwig pre-game speeches that are working well, lower bracket runners is. So they're not out of it yet. But Moist are in a prime position to qualify for the Ascension playoffs. As Tech says, O2 versus Moist, unlucky game from me. It's not the end of the world for the guard because there is a very realistic possibility possibility they rematch with Moist later on in the tourney, and we know that with rematches, it feels like you're more likely to win the second time around because, you know, the guards can look at that series, look what they did wrong, and hopefully get back to play them again after, let's say, Moist have lost to M80, which is a very likely possibility nonetheless. But look at this, right? Split 1, they were 5th. They're first in Split 2. I don't believe they even lost a series, and now they're 1 game away from Ascension. So I think they're absolutely the most improved team, and it sets up a crazy storyline. So here you go. 2-0 versus the guards. Would not have seen this coming at the start of the season, right? I mean, incredibly close, right? The slaying numbers do not necessarily do how close this series was justice. 13-11 on Haven, with a really impressive 8-4 second side, and then 13-10 on Bind. Again, when it comes down to, like, who's got the ice, I mean, we look at both of these games. Moist Moguls, like, they're 11-11. Do they win the last 2 rounds? Yes, they do. Bind, I mean, it's, what is it, 9-10 in favour of the guards here, and then win the last 4 rounds to win the map. So, very impressive stuff, it's got to be said. And that now leaves the bracket like this. So, M80, they are still going to be the team to beat. They've looked very difficult to stop the first couple of games they played. They're still my favourites to win the Ascension in the entire Americas, but the top 2 teams in this tourney, they will go through to try and make it happen. The first of those teams will be determined on June the 8th in several days' time now between M80 and Moist Mogul, so plenty of days for them to prepare for each other, and the winner of that guaranteed to go through to the Ascension Americas playoffs. The other team, though, will be the winner of the losers finals. So the Guard is awaiting the winner of Shopify Rebellion and G2. I would expect the Guard to beat either of those teams, and we'll see who wins between those two tonight. And then also FaZe TSM, that's the other one that I don't really know who I'm going to call to win this. I feel like I should really take FaZe, but I think I'm going to take TSM. And on the other side, I guess I should take SR actually, because G2 have been shambolic. So I'll take SR to win and TSM to win, but that could go either way. And then we get Oxygen TSM, which have seen before, I believe. And maybe Oxygen should be favoured there anyway, because I think they were pretty good, to be fair, against M80, at least when they don't play them on Pearl, which is probably not the wisest choice. But yeah, that's your bracket right now. Man, what a crazy story for these guys. And they're 1 series away from making it through to the Ascension playoffs. And would you say it's impossible for them to beat M80 right now? Like, I definitely wouldn't want to necessarily bet against it. So very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.